Alright, I'm getting ready to remove this floor pan, and I cut the old replacement floor pan away. Right there are my cuts, and I cut it all the way to there. There's some more welding I have to cut from the old floor pan that somebody else installed. If you look right here, see that was welded from underneath right along there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it with my grinder, remove all that up in there. So show you some light. You see the replacement panel that was done by others. I'm going to remove all that, and on this side I'm just going to cut this big section out right there. And again, there's some more welding right there that got to get cut, but other than that, it's pretty much free to remove. Then I got to do a lot more grinding and spot weld cutting and all that just to get it clean. So let's get going. Okay, I just cut along the perimeter here, along the wheel well, because I don't want to damage any more than I have to. I will be replacing the wheel wells later on, but like I said, I don't want to damage anything. Make sure everything comes out okay. I cut the right side, and this is the left side. Cut all along there. So the only thing that has to get cut is that section right there. Let me zoom in. That's the original floor pan back there. That needs to be cut. And let me show you the other side. That's the other side right there. That has to be cut as well. And then the floor pan will be able to come out. So those are the only two cuts I have to do. So let's get going. Okay, I ended up cutting this piece away right here because I wanted to be able to see what I was doing, so I'm not damaging anything. This rail is from the original floor pan. As you could see, they cut it there and welded it back in place, but anyway, I cut it up around there. I stopped. I made my cut right through there, but I stopped, and then I cut all the way across like that. So I'm going to remove this whole piece so I could see what I'm doing without trying to damage anything. That's about it. So I'll see you when I rip this out. Alright, this is what it looks like in the car. That is the original floor pan right there. That wasn't removed, but I will be removing it to install the new one. But you could see they really did a number on it. But anyway, I'm going to put this car all back together. Alright, let's keep going. Okay, the floor pan is all cut out. Let me show you. It's all cut out, and all I have to do now is just clean it up so I could install the new one, which is going to take some time. There's going to be a lot of spot welds I have to drill out all along here, and it's there, and it's all cut out. So like I said, it's going to be a lot of cleaning and prepping before I'm ready to put this back in. So I'll see you when it's all prepped and ready to go. All the spot welds, this is where the floor pan comes out, right along there underneath this. I think this is called the valance panel right here. I think this is called the valance panel. I'm not going to replace that. That looks like it's in pretty good shape. Hopefully I don't damage it trying to get everything out, but underneath all this are spot welds, so I have to clean that up pretty good to get it out. And like I said, I won't see you guys till I'm done. Alright, see you on the next one. Alright, I wanted to show you this. The original floor pan right here, this is the driver's side, goes right underneath this lip of the inner wheel well. Just as a point of reference, I just want to make sure that I understand where it all goes back together when I put the floor in, so there's not any misalignment, but that's where it goes right there. Got a good shot of that. And also, I want to show you the other side too. Alright, this is the passenger side, and again comes up and it sits right in here of the wheel well. It goes right underneath there. If you can see that line, this is the original floor pan, sits right underneath the lip. This is just a point of reference, putting it back together. That's all that is. Anyway, let's keep going. Alright, I wanted to show you this, that there's also a lot of putty here between, I'll show you the underside, between the, there's a good shot of it, that's all putty, between the original quarter panel and the floor pan. Just as a point of reference, because I don't want to get crazy if everything doesn't line up properly. So I just wanted to show you that. Alright, I wanted to show you that right there. This is the kick panel that's actually riveted in there, or spot welded in. I haven't cleaned it up yet, but I wanted to show you that, and it comes down there like this. And I cut this open just for giggles. This was a repair panel that somebody put on, and if you peel it back, you could see the original kick panel here, side panel for that. You see that opening there, and then it has that groove right here. This is the original panel. So I want to show you right here. Let me show you this piece. Wait a second. Right here is that hole. You see it? Right there. Okay, that hole there is that hole there. So it's a perfect match. There's that groove right here. And here's the groove right there. See it? That's the groove right there. This is an exact replica of the replacement panel. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean that up and try to keep that intact, because the floor pan goes up in there and then I could remove it later. So, all right, let's keep going. Okay, I'm at this part of the removal of the trunk floor pan. I drilled out all these spot welds here, separated it from this. This is the actual trunk filler panel on the bottom here, the original one. As you can see, they welded a whole bunch of metal underneath. I'm trying to separate it here so I can line up the new trunk pan, and there's spot welds all under there, and I grinded that loose, drilled out spot welds here, all up in here like this, and that's where it overlays just like that. So the trunk filler panel actually goes up first, and then the trunk pan goes to that. Let me move over to the other side. I want to show you that. Again, I removed this quarter panel so I could actually work on doing this. There's spot welds all up in here. Obviously on the other side up in here. I removed it up there, down here. And then I guess this is where the filler panel stops. It hits this part here. And then this is where the trunk pan comes up. So that's like a point of reference. And then there's spot welds on the filler panel right here. So when I put it back together, I got to make sure I weld that. So I'm going to be installing that before I install the quarter panel. So I just want to make sure everything lines up, so there's no errors putting this thing back together. So, and I'm going to keep this lower brace from the lower part of the rear to the drawing a blank, sorry, the wheel well, so it won't move. So that's still stationary. There isn't that much weight, so it really isn't going to move anyway. I'm going to be replacing the whole quarter panel, so there really shouldn't be an issue. But anyway, let's keep going. Over here, this is the driver's side rear. Removing this, I'm almost done. I got one more little spot weld up in here. I got to cut, then it's going to drop right out. But just wanted to show you, this is where it was right there, just like so. That's where it was tack welded through the trunk filler panel on the other side, and then this is ready to drop right out. I cut all my spot welds all the way across, just like that. I have a pair of pliers holding the other side right there, and this whole panel is ready to get taken out. And then I got a lot more cleaning to do. I'm going to show you. Hold on. Inside. Okay, that's what it looks like on the inside. This is where this is the original trunk filler panel is. You could see it. This is the back side of it right here, and it comes down. They patched it a couple times, I noticed. So this was repaired like 3 times. I don't know if it was hit or maybe it was just rotted out, but anyway, that's where we are. So I just got to cut this one more spot weld right here, and this panel drops out, and then I'm ready to hammer it smooth, clean it up, any more little pieces I have to do, and I'm going to dry fit the floor pan in here. So I just want to give you a little view of all the cleaning I had to do. There's probably a little more on that side right there I have to do, but I want to keep this together to the point where it's being held so nothing shifts. So I got a nice clean area for me to install this trunk pan. So let's keep going. Alright, it's all cleaned up to dry fit the floor pan. I just wanted to show you what I did. I just cleaned it up just so there's no spot welding it in place. Just want to show you everything I did. Everything here is cleaned up. This is just a dry fit, just to see how everything is going to fit before I tear everything apart. But I just want to make sure it's in place and it's held in and it's nice and clean and everything lines up to original. I'm really surprised that these filler panels are still intact in this car. The trunk filler panel on this side, I mean, it's in actually pretty good condition. I don't know why they added so much metal. But anyway, here we are. So let's try to dry fit it, see what happens. All right, the trunk pan is actually installed temporarily. So let's make that clear. If you look back there, everything's fitting super nice along the line. This is the original wheel wells that are there. So there's how to cut it, make a little modifications, but it's fitting super nicely. I put that in here. Let me show you. I secured it up along there with the filler panels with these three screws right here. 1, 2, 3. Let me zoom out a little bit. All right. It's fitting nicely along here. I just got to tack some screws, make sure it doesn't move on me. But factory, there was a little overlay here, as you can see. But that's the way it was from factory. I could make it tight, but that means I'm moving metal, and I really don't want to move metal to make it flush, because then that means something's going to bow and give me a problem down the line. So that's, again, temporarily installed. Let me show you the inside here. I did the same thing. Holds the quarter panel in. That's going to get removed, so it doesn't have to be pretty now, but I will be removing. This is the trunk filler panel right here. I just got to tack it a little bit, bang it down smooth, but again, I'm going to be removing it, so I don't know how crazy I'm going to get. I had to cut the wheel well over there. Let me get a better shot of it. Okay, right here. So I had to cut this, gave myself some room to play. Right there, it's just in maybe 1/8 of an inch, but I just wanted to make sure that's not holding it up. But everything else looks good. I mean, here's the inside of it. Everything's nice and flush. So, I mean, this is a big project. I was working on this, I would say, a total of 12 hours from where I am now. I'm totally not finished, but I am going to tack it in a couple areas, meaning set screws. The problem I have, which I'm very disappointed, is this right here. I want to show you in case you run into this problem. If you have a suggestion, let me know what I should do. I have a plan of what I'm going to do. There is a good 3/4 inch gap, maybe less, 1/2 inch gap that goes all the way across between the new floor pan and the new trunk pan. And I know it's correct because this is the rear seat panel and it's sitting, if you look right here, that's the, I have some screws holding it in place, that's sitting in there flush. So if you have any suggestions on what I can do to fill this up and make it look good and strong, leave a comment below. But I just wanted to show you that. And now I got to do a lot of cleaning and tacking and getting ready for prepping. So please like, share, subscribe.